Good afternoon, friends, professors, and respective members. My name is Ajay Jagtap. I am studying in the MBA first year at SAS Institute of Management in Brussels. My professor, Mr. Sujit Shanke, under the guidance of him, I have prepared my presentation in topic of the verbal communications. I hope you will listen my presentation carefully and look forward your support. Let's start the presentation for verbal communications. My first slide is definition of the verbal communications. The verbal communication is defined communicating to the express our views, information, ideas, and sound of the words. The spoken part usually involve face-to-face communication. It is the verbal communications. Communication through the radio, televisions, mobile phones, and verbal communications is called it as a verbal communications. The series of the words, the grammar rules defined the language. Two of the persons can quickly communicate it and they're aware of the language at midnight. To the difficult of the people communicate without a common know of the language. For the effective communications, there are the most of the common language which everyone present and understood. Effective verbal communication, economics, the goods, relations at the workplace, and home. There are four types of the verbal communication. First is the public communication, second is small group communication, third is interpersonal communications, and fourth is interpersonal communications. Let's see the four verbal communication brief. Public communication. The public communication is defined a communication of person with the public. It involve of missions, assembly of the people, for example of the Prime Minister addressing the people about the multiple development in the project. Other experiences include the elections, campaign, public speech, etc. Its college are the public communications. Small group communication. The small group communication is defined in the communication with the two or more peoples. The number of peoples participate in the such communication is the thought of the goods illuminations each to other and explain the school meetings, board meetings, and the conference hall, office meeting, team meeting, family gathering, etc. Sometimes such conversation can become thought due to the some issue being discussed there. That's called in the small group communications. Interpersonal communications. Interpersonal communication is communicated with us. It is also called as internal communications in including the self-thinking, analyzing, thoughts, assignments. It is associated with the inner state of the mind. The person internet the thought of the feeling, play, and video role in the international communication. If also they include the various activities such of the solo speaking, solo writing, solo dancing, creations, and self-awareness. There is the interpersonal communications. Interpersonal communications. Interpersonal communication is communication between the us and other over the channel. The communication can be online, face to face, video conference, or mobile. Interpersonal skill are external whatever We are the manager, employee, or looking for the workers. Such skills are also know of the soft silk and the determining well and the person can communicate, behave, the relate of others. Tips of the verbal communication skill. Keep changing the voice tone. Sometime during the communication, make the communication process boards. Do not forget to think from the perspective of the attitudes. The good knowledge of the topic does not mean that the advent to the understand your point of view. You should first think yourself as the attitude and understand what they are trying to communicate. Be positive. Be positive and all the peoples are most likable have the great sound in the front of the way. The positive our communication will help to strong team, booster, addressings, arguments, and more many. Thinking before the speaking. Effective the verbal communication includes the spoken words, but it should be not hurt to the people around to us. The organization information and the thoughts in advance. We can take some time to organize to view before the speaking. It will filter to our mistakes and make the communication process to the smoother. Have the participate in the have the participate the sufficient in the presence and listeners to understand the speak carefully. It help us to help avoiding the being internal and the point of the during the communication. It also help to avoid the make a satisfaction decision, including the feedback during the communications. Communication is the two-way process. Given the rewarding and during the communication, it may be more effective. Category verbal communications, meaning it means define the exchange into the information with us and words, either the spoken or the writing. Communication medium. It is used word, voice, language, and sentence to the communicate with others. Decoding level. Verbal communication is a very easy understand if we know the words and language. We need to pay attention to the person who is speaking. Awareness. It including more awareness because a person need to talk and analyze the before the speaking. Medium. Verbal communication required a single medium communication to the interrupt the communications. Explanation. Face-to-face communication, audio or video recording, loudspeaker, etc. It is the explanations of the verbal communications. So thank you so much, guys. So thank you so much, guys, and professors to listening my presentations and watching my presentation silently and carefully. Thank you so much.